I guarantee.
I'm glad you to see me, I guarantee.
Welcome to Cajun in the City. I'm Cajun Ken. I'm bringing the Bayou to the Big Apple. The alligators are biting, so grab your fork. It's time to eat. This is probably one of the most over-the-top dishes we cook. This is a delicacy. Alligator sauce piquant. If you're ever down in the French Market area in New Orleans, be sure you ask for alligator on a stick. By God, they even got alligator nuggets, alligator sausage, and it's delicious. So cooking alligator sauce piquant brings back some old memories back when I used to work on the tugboat down in Cuisine, Louisiana. I want to tell you a little story. We're coming into the dock and all of a sudden our tugboat breaks down. We're on one engine and we're barely putt-putting around. All of a sudden the captain says, we're going to go up over in this bayou here and there's a dirt road and the maintenance guys can come out and meet us. Well, we're putting up through this little bayou. I have no idea where we're at. This looks pretty deserted to me. We get about 2 miles up inland and we're still about 2 miles away from the little dirt road from where the maintenance crew can come out and fix the other engine. Boat stops completely. So we have to tie up to some bunch of cypress trees and anchor out and just stay right there. And I don't know how the maintenance crew were going to be able to get out to that area, but we were stuck. Mosquitoes are thick, alligators are thick, and we had only one thing to do. Play Boo-Ray, which is a Cajun card game, which I'm horrible at, or talk to the chef and find out what we're going to eat. And he came up with a bright idea and said, if you boys go out there and catch me an alligator, I'll make alligator sauce piquant. I never had alligator sauce piquant before, but I've always heard about it, and I said, what the heck? We baited our hooks, threw it in the water. The alligators were so thick, we couldn't even keep bait on our hooks because the alligators were biting the meat off the hooks. So all of a sudden, about 20 minutes in the water, I snagged me an alligator. I reel him in. It took me an hour almost to get this thing in. I thought he was going to break the pole and break me. Finally, we get him in. Man, he was like a 6-footer. I'm like, maybe bigger than I can even put my arms out. We finally get that alligator in. The chef comes and he does his thing. About 4 hours later, we're all sitting around the table having alligator sauce piquant. Ooh-wee, that was some good stuff. Served over rice, a little bit of hot sauce on top, and he made some delicious fresh cornbread, put some bacon in it and all that good stuff. I tell you what, alligator sauce piquant is a delicacy down south and you gotta try it. I ordered my alligator right here in New York City from my local butcher. You can go to any of your local butchers and ask for it. A few of them will be able to order it for you. It's a little on the expensive side, about $30 a pound, but if you wanna eat some exotic meats and do like an exotic Cajun wonderful meal, get you some alligator. I'm going to show you how to cook it up here. It's like a stew. It's very easy to make, and it is delicious. I guarantee.
I'm glad you to see me, I guarantee.
So if you're ever stuck on a tugboat on a deserted bayou down in Louisiana, and if the fish ain't biting, the alligator are. For our alligator sauce piquant, we have white wine, celery, tomato, garlic, bell pepper, onion, Worcestershire sauce, hot sauce, cayenne pepper, Cajun seasoning, ground pepper, kosher salt, scallions, olive oil, flour, and some alligator meat. For our bacon cornbread, we need whole milk, 2 eggs, cornmeal, vegetable oil, kosher salt, butter, and fresh bacon. No alligator sauce piquant is complete without a big old thing of cornbread. When we made our alligator sauce piquant down on the bayou, the chef made jalapeno, bacon, a little bit of Cajun seasoned cornbread. But today, I'm gonna keep it a little simple. I'm gonna be making just plain old bacon cornbread because I love bacon and that's what I want to do. So first up, some fresh bacon. I'm going to cut the bacon up, slap it in our pan here, just like this. Plain bacon. Bacon sizzles nicely. Have a lot of fun with your bacon. Now I remember growing up as a kid, smelling bacon in the morning, grandma's house, and then all of a sudden, there's cornbread on too. Cornbread for breakfast, cornbread for dinner, cornbread for lunch. It's all good. I love me some bacon. You can't go wrong. Bacon cornbread with alligator sauce piquant. Can't ask for anything better. So next up, let's get started making our simple cornbread mixture. The type of cornbread that I like to make from down south that I'm used to, it's not your yellow sweet cornbread that you may think is southern style cornbread. Sure, they make it down there, but the true traditional type of cornbread is your white cornmeal. That's it. No sugar in it, and it's not yellow. So we have about a cup and a half of cornmeal here. Right there into the bowl, we have our whole milk, kosher salt, 2 eggs, and some vegetable oil here. I'm going to mix all this up, and by the time I'm done with that, this bacon is going to be cooked pretty well. Let me go ahead and mix up these 2 eggs. Mama always said, you got to put 2 eggs in it. I really don't know why she wants 2 eggs. I think 1 egg is enough, but you know, this is her recipe also, and the family recipe. Cornbread. All right, this egg looks mixed up pretty well. 2 eggs right in here. Just like that. We're going to add a little bit of our vegetable oil. I'm not going to use all of that. A pinch of kosher salt. And also, one of my favorites, a little bit of Cajun seasoning. Of course, I can't make cornbread without putting Cajun seasoning in it, right? Whole milk. I'm not going to use it all because I want to mix this up and see what thickness I come up with. I'm just going to mix this in right here, just like this here. And that's all you do. I always like to cook my cornbread in a cast iron skillet. And since we're outside today in the courtyard, I'm not using no oven inside. I'm going to put it right here in this grill that's been heating up behind me. That's right, cooking cornbread on a barbecue grill. If you got it, folks, use it. That's all I can say. I want this bacon to be nice and crispy. So I'm going to crumble it up into this cornbread, and then I'm going to drain the oil out of the pan, and then pour the cornbread mixture into it. Boom, right into the barbecue grill. I'm going to let this cornbread cook on the grill probably for about 30 to 35 minutes to a nice crisp. I'm going to crumble it up and put it in this cornbread and mix it all up. Clean out the pan and turn around and put the cornbread already into a heated pan. See, it all works in conjunction like this, and boom, right into the barbecue. Here we go. I'm going to pull this bacon out. You know what? I love me some bacon. I'm going to pull it right out here. Well, first I'm going to put it on my cooling rack. That would help. Where is my cooling rack? Here it is. Set this down right here. If you want super crispy bacon, just leave it in there a little bit longer, no big deal. I'm going to lay this out here like this. Ooh-wee! I love me some bacon. Our bacon's crispied up over here quite well. I'm going to go ahead and drain the oil off of this pan, get my trusty Alligator mitten right here. And all I'm going to do is just get rid of this oil right here. I already have a bowl right over here. Now what's so great about what I just did is that normally if I didn't cook bacon in a skillet, I would have to grease the pan and get it nice and hot. Well, since I'm making bacon cornbread, all of that work is already done for me. Let's see how our bacon looks over here. Oh man. That's good stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and chop up a few pieces. And now, once the cornbread is starting to cook, we're going to start working on our delicious delicacy from down south, alligator sauce piquant. Ooh-wee! Who dat talk about some alligator sauce piquant? Me. That's who. That's all I can say about that there. All All right, our bacon is cut up. It looks like our cornbread mixture is looking good here. You know what I'm going to do? Sprinkle it right in there like that. That's all you're going to do there. Just like that. Mix it all up. That's all I can say about that there. Okay, here we go. Let's pour this into our preheated little cast iron skillet here. Just like that. I'm not making a big pond of cornbread. Usually when I make cornbread for guests, I cook it in one of my bigger skillets. Just like that there. There we go. Man, that looks good. That's all I can say. I'm looking around for something else to put in it, but you know what? It's got enough. Let's go ahead and pop it into the barbecue. Let's get that cornbread going and get that alligator sauce because I know you're ready to get some gator in your mouth. So now, we're gonna make alligator sauce piquant. But you know what? Growing up down south, even the bedtime story started with, and first you make a roux. That's right, we're gonna make a roux for this alligator sauce piquant. A roux is not that hard. It's olive oil, flour, and you can throw in a little bit of celery, a little bit of onion, a little bit of bell pepper also, which that's what I like to do. That's the foundation of all good Cajun meals. So, let's go ahead. A little olive oil in our pan here. Just like that. I may need some more later. Go ahead and add our flour. A little more flour there. About a good roux is about a cup of flour and a cup of olive oil. A little more olive oil here. Bring our heat up on this. Now we're going to cook this to a Cajun roux, which is a dark chocolate color. For a Creole roux, you would have it like a little reddish color. Wouldn't cook it as long. But you know what? Since we're doing a Cajun dish today, we're going to make a Cajun roux. A little bit more olive oil here. Now this alligator sauce piquant recipe is yours truly, our good friend Justin Wilson. This is his recipe for alligator sauce piquant, and he always made a Cajun roux. And if you want to be quick about it, make a little Creole roux. It's a big difference in the flavor, but if you don't have time to make a Cajun roux, make a Creole roux. All you do is the same thing, except that you don't cook it as long. All right, this is looking good. Let's go ahead and put in a little bit of onion. But first, let's go ahead and chop some up. Chop it up right over here. I got a whole onion. Cut it up like this here. I'm glad I'm outside cutting onion, if you know what I mean. Let's make sure we don't burn this over here. If you burn your roux, you're in trouble. Add that onion in there like that. Just going to keep it burning. And that's getting a little dark, just like we like it. Ooh, those onions are kicking. Even I'm outside, they kicking. And that's because you know they're fresh. It's going to add a little bit of celery here. I'm going to cut the heat down. Like that there. Let's go ahead and add our bell pepper. There's a lot of ingredients in alligator sauce piquant. But once you get all the ingredients together, it's basically cutting up your alligator meat, putting it in, letting it cook for 3 or 4 hours, and that's how it's done. Woo! Who done cooked that roux up? I did. That's who. Just like they say down south, who dat? Who dat done that? No one cooks like this unless you really got the 3 ingredients. We know what the 3 ingredients are. Love, passion, and a whole lot of time. And if you don't think you got time to cook good Southern and Cajun food, and that's your excuse for not doing it, then maybe you shouldn't be cooking it, because it's not for the weak at heart. You gotta love the kitchen, and you gotta love cooking for people, and you gotta love adding passion in with your food, and it shows into flavor. I guarantee it. Everything that I cook, if I don't like it, I'm not gonna serve it. My grandfather always told me, he says, Kenneth, if you're gonna do a job, do it well. And I understood that, and I've always followed that philosophy of his to do that. If I have a job and I can't do it well, then don't do it. If you're gonna work for someone, do a good job for them, or don't work for them at all. Okay, our roux is almost done. Let's go ahead and chop up that alligator, and let's get this alligator sauce piquant started here. Woo! This is good stuff. I can't wait. Over here, I have my bowl of alligator meat. Like I said, ordered that right here in the big city. I've been marinating it in only water with a little bit of lemon. Give it that little zesty there flavor. Alligator meat looks a lot like chicken, looks a lot like pork, and a lot of people says it tastes a lot like chicken, a lot like pork. Me, I think it tastes like alligator, and ooh, it's some good stuff, because I know the difference. Let's go ahead and lay our alligator chunks out. And we are going to chop these up into chunks, because alligator sauce piquant is a sauce. It's a chunky sauce, is all it is. Nice bite-sized chunks is all you need. And the longer you cook alligator sauce piquant, the more tender it gets. Nice chunks right there. Let's go ahead and keep on cutting up over here. All I have in the water is just a little bit of lemon juice. I love lemon. Lemon helps bring out the flavor of the alligator. It is kind of like eating pork and chicken all rolled into one. And down in the French market, there's a guy that sells alligator nuggets and alligator on a stick. Real nice guy there. Every time I go in, he gives me a nice alligator sausage. Ooh, good stuff. Cooks it right there up in the French market. Nice chunks here. Just like that there. I'm going to check on my roux here. Make sure that it's not burning. It's looking good. Alligator sauce piquant can take almost as long as it takes to make a good roux. Let me keep on stirring here. I'm going to add just a little bit of water. My roux is done. Just how I like it. I had the heat up on it there. Cooked it really super fast. This is Southern cooking. This is Cajun cooking. This is real cooking. There we go. That's how I like it. Okay. Let's go ahead and get our alligator piled up over here. Cut up a few more pieces. And we get all of our other ingredients in there. Don't be scared to try alligator meat. It is a delicacy, I'm telling you. Good stuff. I personally don't like fried alligator, because a lot of the alligator you get around, especially here in the city or anywhere else, and even some parts of Louisiana, fried alligator's been in the freezer for a long time. It's been frozen, and it just don't taste that great. But it's all seasoned up, and that's why everybody says it tastes like chicken or pork. You know, so you want fresh alligator meat and put it in a sauce piquant or a stew. There's also an alligator gumbo. You can put alligator in anything. That's up to you. But man, when I had that alligator down in Homer, Louisiana, where that tugboat was tied up, that was some good fresh gator. That was some good stuff there. Okay, I got the alligator meat chopped up. Let's go ahead and put in the rest of the ingredients and let's get this alligator sauce piquant going because, woo, we're about to eat some good food up in here. Next up, I'm going to add a little bit of kosher salt right into the roux here. A little bit of cayenne, Cajun seasoning. Ooh, you can always add a little bit more. Take a little bit out. Lemon juice, lemon zest. Justin Wilson loves his Worcestershire sauce, and that's what we're putting in ours. All of that. It's about 2 tablespoons. Ground pepper. And your favorite hot sauce. Make sure it's a Louisiana brand hot sauce. It's good. Ooh, yeah, always have your wine handy when you're eating hot sauce. Ah, yeah, that's good stuff. That's how I like it. Let me stir this up here. I can feel it. I can taste it. I can smell it. Man, I'm hungry. Putting a little bit of chopped scallions right into here. This don't look like much yet, folks. Trust me. It's going to be good. Okay, it's cooking on down. I'm going to turn the heat up on this here because we're about to get this bad boy going. Next up, we're going to add our tomato sauce right there into it. Tomato sauce, good stuff. We're going to add the alligator meat. We're going to add a little bit more onion. And then this bad boy will be ready to cook for 3 or 4 hours. Whew. I can't wait to put this over some rice and go to town. And you can serve this with that delicious cornbread that I made up, that bacon cornbread. Man, that goes hand in hand. You don't need anything else. You don't need crackers. You don't need a side dish. Bacon cornbread or jalapeno bacon cornbread, whatever you want to do. Alligator sauce pecan over rice. Woo, you got yourself a meal and then some. Next up, let's go and get our alligator meat in here. We're just going to sprinkle that in there like that. Man, because every time you eat some of the alligator sauce piquant, you want to get a mouthful of gator. Don't get chancy on the gator. When I ordered this from my butcher, he's like, you need that much? It is expensive. It's about $30 a pound. It really is. But you know what? Every now and then you got to splurge on yourself. And I highly recommend it. Get this mixed up in here. Like that there. It's going to cook deliciously. I'm going to add a little bit of water. I'm going to make a nice soup. And I'm going to let that soup cook down and marinate. I may have to add a little bit of water to it later on tonight as I'm cooking, but you know, that's okay. Looking good right here. I like it. Let's add a little bit of water. That's what we're making here. Alligator sauce pecan. I don't know the last time it was made in the big city. But you know what? If you get a bite of this, you're going to remember that it was made right here. And you're seeing it made from scratch. Literally. The only thing I didn't do is catch the alligator. And you heard the story, so I have done that. But I'm not doing that here tonight, I promise you. My alligator sauce pecan and my bacon cornbread is done just in time before the sun goes down. Let's go ahead and plate this bad boy up and see what we got. This cornbread is still hot. Let's get a nice piece of cornbread on the plate here. Man, I grew up with good cornbread. Unfortunately, my mom never let me put bacon in it. They put everything else in it, so I made today with a little bit of bacon cornbread right there on the side. Man, does that not look delicious. Little parsley on the top here. We're going to Sprinkle it with a little bit of scallions. Man, woo! Now this is Cajun. This is Southern. This is good. Good stuff. I'll get a piece of this here. Man, I love me some alligator. Nice big, plump, juicy piece of meat. Throw the fork away. That's good. Until next time on Cajun in the City, from the Bayou to the Big Apple, keep cooking, America.
Cajun in the City is sponsored by the Eileen S. Kaminsky Family Foundation, BillsVoices.com, Slap Your Mama Cajun Products, Qualified EB, and Pentloff Studios, LLC. With special thanks to the following: